So I have a weird relationship with food, and this one's gonna be all about that. So in this one, you're seeing me eating a lot of food, which is pretty fun. It's pretty weird, actually. Good luck to anyone to watch this whole thing. But yeah, so I have a weird relationship and bad relationship with food for quite a few years. It's nothing of weight. I am overweight. This video may or may not show because I don't show my whole body in this. But I just don't like food is the first part. And the second part is I forget food exists. So we'll start by talking about how I don't like food. Over the years, food is never something I've been that big of a fan of. I basically just eat food that I can stomach most of the time, to be honest. Occasionally there's food I like, but it doesn't last long. So I has basically something I like food wise. So rare that I actually like food. I just kind of eat it until I'm sick of it, and I just do this for months on end. So it was a month where I ate basically eggs every other day. There's a month where I ate mac and cheese for like 2 weeks straight, like literally every meal. And there was like about a month and a half where I was eating a waffle a day. Still haven't got over sick waffles. I just haven't eaten as much because I'm out of stuff for it. But I actually got back to waffles. I'm actually eating as well. Just a mental note that point for myself. But yeah, so I just have never been a fan of food in my life. There's foods I'll eat because I'm willing to. My body's like, oh, this is fine. Because there's never been a food that I'm like, this is great. This is a really nice food. I don't know how people enjoy food, if I'm being honest. So I've never ate a food and thought, oh, this is tasty, this is nice, this is delightful. I've always thought, I can eat this. I don't hate the taste of this. It's rare that I like the taste. It's more of a, I can stomach this taste. Occasionally there is foods I'm enjoying, and that's happened a few times. But I've never thought, yay, food. Occasion, but so for a while I just didn't eat properly. There was two for years. No, it's a while. It's years long, at least 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5. It's been a lot longer, maybe potentially. But I just kind of just barely ate, and I had to like force myself to eat. But then I got to the point where I was like forgetting food exists. And I've been trying to do this quite a few times in my life, where I've just been like, oh yeah, I'll eat food when I remember food by food, which was not a good idea because. I went from not caring about food and just, I'll eat, this is fine, to the point where that became the point where because I didn't like food, I kind of stopped like forcing myself as much, being like, oh, you gotta eat something. And then I started forgetting food existed entirely. There's nearly like a week where I just didn't eat. That was common enough. There's days where all I had was a piece of toast, and that was literally it. It's not, so I have a weird relationship with food that way as well, where I just don't care about food, and so like this got worse and worse over the years, where I just forgot food existed completely. So I went from I madly like food or dislike food to nothing food to I've forgotten food as a concept, as a construct, and I just didn't eat. So I had to I still have reminders on my phone that reminds me to eat, because I just forget. Like, I'm getting better at it. I'm finally getting hungry again, which is good. So I'd say recently-ish, I've actually been getting hungry again, where I'm like, oh yeah, I crave food. And that is pretty more remarkable, and a pretty great thing that I need to acknowledge is good more, and need to be like, yes, glad you ate food myself, and then be happy that I did so. I'm very bad at praising myself, so I need to get better at, but it's a pretty big accomplishment to actually like food again. Not like at times, but you know what? I don't hate food. There are foods where I am enjoying again. For example, regularly enough, whenever we're working in wellbeing centres, and a lot of them are near spas, and inside them they have chips. We're pretty good. So I've been getting a lot of chips and beans, which I've been enjoying. I've got some. I was really loving crusty bread for quite a while, but then I got one from this Lidl, and there's this spider inside of it, and so that kind of put me off crusty bread for a little bit. So I'm working my way back to eating crusty bread again, which is a bit annoying, but you know, I'm gonna get back into. So I need to try and get back into that and give myself a little time off it now to kind of adjust again to eating crusty bread, which would be nice to remember exists. Not remember that exists. I remember that exists. It'd be nice to get back into that again because I really did enjoy it. And it's rare for me to enjoy foods. I really like Crusty Bread. I've been like, I'll watch Crusty Bread for years now. And it's something I've always, even when I was really not eating anything, it's still something I would eat. So I just have to wait a little bit and get back to Crusty Bread again because I know it's a one-off incident. It's not every little, but something gonna get back into that. Something to work on. But so yesterday, I was like, you're liking food again. You're eating food again. You're eating properly. Not every day, but most days I'm eating properly, which is good. I don't think I'm eating a lot yet. I don't think I'm back to normal level of what I should be eating, but I'm working up to it, which is good. So yesterday I was like, celebrate this. You like pizza? Buy yourself 2 huge pizzas and just eat until you're not hungry. And pizza a little bit. I had like 1.5 16-inch pizzas, so that's a lot of pizza. And so I was like, you know what, you're eating. Today you're looking to eat pizza, just eat as much as you can kind of deal. Which obviously I don't do all the time, but I'm just saying I was like you're willing to eat stuff. And so I did that, and so yeah. What's in the background talking is this eating. And so I put on a TV show, How I Met Your Mother, which is off the air, so clearly not sponsoring this, but you know, if it ever really, really wants to, I'm sure a show that used to be on can sponsor a video. But I was eating it, watching TV and eating that, and it was a nice time. So in this video, you keep seeing me looking away and looking at something in the distance. That is How I Met Your Mother. The audio was in this video originally, but I've obviously taken it out and replaced it with this, which I argue is worse audio. But this is a story about me and my relationship with food. So that's a good part. Stop in for a second. I need to do some work. Now, what's really fun about this is how badly I am eating. I keep ripping the pizza and like in the little parts and then eating them, then realizing it keeps falling apart because pizza's not designed that way, which is fun. But yeah, I've got half pizza in the fridge and I'm going to be home soon. I can't wait to eat it. Which honestly, today I've been really thinking about eating that pizza and I'm happy. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for it, and I had to slow myself down like an hour ago and being like, hey, you're excited to eat food. That is pretty great. Not oh, you're eating because you have a reminder. It's oh, you can't wait. You're excited. You're pumped to eat this, and that's something that is actually really rare. And even my best of eating days, I've never felt. So yeah, it's pretty nice. But yeah, so that's the eating section of stuff. But to be honest, I do have problems with my weight. I don't like my weight, and it's because you know, I don't know. It's being trans is already one thing, and being overweight is another thing. So and the fact that you know, my body shape is not one that in female clothing is catered to ever. And because that it's pretty hard, but yeah, because you never really see people of weight in stuff that isn't about the weight, and it's even when you do, weight comes up, and it's I just like the idea of being a little overweight and not having to acknowledge it, or not having to try and lose weight, or people not being like, oh, you look skinnier today, or oh. I just don't like thinking about it, and I don't all the time, but occasionally I do, and I'm a little overweight, but it's nothing worryingly, but yeah, it's annoying, because, I don't know, I'm sure it's like, if you got a therapist and really dig deep, I'm sure it could have something to do with the fit issues, but again, I don't think it does. I mean, who knows if it does or not. But really, I don't even know if food is high. I think that actually my weight is due to lack of food rather than food itself, weirdly. Because, you know, I don't eat, so my body kind of, anytime I have eaten for years, it's kind of storing that and not using the energy. Because it doesn't know it's the next thing it can eat. So it's kind of, my weight is more of lack of food than of food. And so like the reason why I am the way I am, I think is a large part due to the lack of food I've put in my system. So my body's like, hey, you got some food, we got some food. We should store this energy and keep it in our system so we're not gonna die. So yeah, I do think my people are like, oh, you really love food, and it's like, actually, it's the opposite. I'm the way I am because of my hatred of food, and it's yeah. For a while, I couldn't eat if people were looking at me, which was annoying. But yeah, so part of why I'm putting this video out, and part of why I've recorded this video at all, was the idea of people watching me eating. I'm trying to get over that fear, because it's not something that I like, and it's not great to not be able to eat when people are around, because, well, yeah, it's just a very bad habit. But yeah, I've eaten with people recently. Went out with my friends for dinner, and I did try like to eat when people weren't watching it, and knew they were looking at times, which is good. I had some chips from McDonald's recently with my friends, which is good. No, it's not what I say. It's just not that much I'm actually drinking about it. I am not drinking this much, but I keep running out and I get a little bit more and more, which I do think I drink more liquids than I should be when I'm eating, but yeah, it's something I'm actually really bad for. From just because this is what's about this one, so here, right there. We're on the top of the story, so this is something. But I wish the time where I was at a restaurant, and I was just drinking if it was being delayed, I was just drinking water after water, like drunk like 2 jugs of water, like 2 liters of water in like the space of 10 minutes, and then just was not hungry for food. And yeah, it was pretty weird. It was like, oh, I was thinking about it right now, or it's like remembering now, which is how many times I've actually drunk so much water that I didn't eat because I wasn't hungry, which it's annoying. They paid into a buffet. It was a buffet. Paid in the buffet and was not eating that much food. Well, not eating that much food. I had like 4 plates, which is fine. That's the reason why I really I've always liked buffets, is because it turns eating into like an event in my mind. So I'll eat better because my brain's like, oh yes, it's time to eat. You're in a buffet. You're not getting your money's worth unless you eat. So that's another reason why I actually really go to buffets more often, in my opinion, is because me as a person, I'm like, oh, buffets, you gotta eat there. You're losing money, which isn't true, but you know, then it's almost my brain's like, oh, eat the buffet, yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, the buffets are pretty great, to be honest. I really love a buffet again. I've actually, which is another thing, so this basically is more of a small special. It's me celebrating myself. No one ever heard this one. Celebrate yourself. You know, I'm arranging a buffet, the buffet soon, which is basically going to see Spider-Man, the new Spider-Verse to some people, my family. Yeah, we're seeing the Spider-Verse. We're going to eat food while we go to the buffet as well beforehand. We go to the buffet beforehand, can't deal, and eat at a buffet. And that will be fun because, you know, I love buffets. But yeah, it's weirdly, yeah, so that'll be another time I'll be eating a lot. for a while every time I overate, which, well, I don't eat much because I'm really hungry or hungry, so I just have to myself, no, you're hungry, you have to eat less. I feel bad, so I didn't eat for longer. So now, because I'm still trying to get into the state of eating, I kind of have to, if I'm hungry at all, I'm trying to eat if I'm hungry, you know. I haven't actually been to a therapist or specialist like this, which I really at some point should actually, but annoyingly they're very expensive and I don't have money for it. But at some point, like, I need a food specialist. But basically, anything that I've looked into, because I have looked into it, is that you should really consider something you eat. And so I've been trying to do this, so I eat food, which sounds like a fairly smart thing to do, but like to the point where it's like, if I'm hungry at all, I should eat, try and eat as soon as I can. So, what I really should start doing is something like, I don't know, crisps or chocolate, something like nuts, or not something that doesn't go off, would be the ideal scenario. And then if I'm ever hungry, take a bite of it, eat a square of the chocolate, eat something, so then I'm rewarding my brain for feeling hungry again, which is something I've been trying to do, but I have not actually, but before I follow, making food where I am, so I eat, and that's something I really gotta do, is make sure that whenever I'm hungry, I do eat as soon as I possibly can, to reward my body for feeling hunger, to try and make it a natural thing again. Because that's something that people don't talk about, but I like to, I'm going to acknowledge this right now. People don't acknowledge the fact that even I don't, no one fully can, but it's hard to remember you don't do it. Acknowledge stuff that you find easy that others really won't. And like, so, or stuff that some people's bodies do naturally and yours doesn't. Like, mine naturally won't think of food or get hungry, and other people's bodies don't, you know. I can't easily talk or easily communicate or find words easily. Like, I easily can find words, not for always find the word I mean, which I really struggle with. I can always find an alternative or an idea. Occasionally my brain does break down and I'm like stuck on one word for hours on end. But my brain can like do stuff others can't. Like, I can see a mess and leave it. Other brains can't do that. That's a skill that others can focus on something easily and not have to force themselves to focus. And get distracted easily by like a bird. I don't know. Just saw a bird there. Look at that bird. Birds, never mind. Thing with the birds, Jess. Like merely it's like birds. Like, I'm very easily zone out or distracted or like, oh, or just not like focus on anything properly. Like right now, even when I'm recording this, I kind of figure out, I'm kind of like struggling to keep on track. And then brains, I think you should get yourself distracted, but I definitely shouldn't. It's not a lot of fun word, but yeah, people's bodies don't do stuff naturally others do. And I guess people don't reward themselves for small things enough. Like, small victories count for a lot. People don't acknowledge stuff that they do that is hard for them because it's so easy for others. And like, I think people should, like, if you struggle to do something and others do it easily, that's still hard for you and that's still impressive you've done it. I don't think we acknowledge that fact enough. Like, for some people it's like, oh yeah, going to a local store and telling the person what I want to eat, like going to like a Subway and ordering a Subway, for some people would be a massive achievement. For others, that's just a very common, easy thing to do. Like, one of my favorite things I've ever seen online, and maybe not just online, one of my favorite things I've ever seen, there was this post where someone was struggling with how to like order a Subway, and like just like on like, I don't know, it's I think on Reddit, just like how do you order a Subway? There's too many options and I'm really stressed about it. And someone without any sense of irony, any judgment, responded with a step-by-step guide on how to do it. and it was like really detailed, and it was amazing, and it was so thoughtful. And it's one of the nicest things I can think of. When I ask me of a nice thing, it's my mind goes to, because it's just like you enter the store. Now there's different types of bread, there's different types of meat, and it's like you can. And then also like there's also there's also an app for Subway where you can look on the app and see the options and prepare what you want beforehand, so you already know the answers to the questions. And they're also like, hey, and if you really want to, you can order online, just pick it up, which is good. But yeah, it was basically like them just walking them through with no judgment, and that is phenomenal. Like, that's just warms my heart to think about. But yeah, so thinking of food is something my body struggles with, and I struggle with. And yeah, I'm not better by any stretch of imagination. And there's still days where I have to force myself to eat, or be like, but there's sometimes I don't have the energy for it, and I'm like, oh yeah, you don't have the energy for it, don't eat then. And I need to start getting the energy to cook again as well, because my body's like, you don't need to cook, it's fine. And then my brain's like, yeah, you can get it in ages, why start again? So like, eating is something that I'm still working on. I'm not better, but I'm getting better. And there's stuff that I do now that I wouldn't have did weeks, months ago, that I'm doing now. Like I'm working like a job 8 to 6, and I'm picking up lunch every day, and that's really good. Sometimes it's a small lunch, sometimes it's a bigger lunch, but I'm still getting something to eat every day. And on my last job, I was working like nights. I was working like, I don't know, midnight to 8 a.m. kind of deal. And I just wouldn't eat anything for most of the shifts. And I'd be like, this is fine, even though I was doing manual labour and I really should have eaten. But yeah, now I'm doing my lunch. I'm taking my lunch to go get something to eat. Sure, I'm not using my whole lunch still. I'm mostly back at the desk before my lunch is over, and I need to get better at that. But that's a different thing. But yeah, I'm just eating, and there are days where I'm only eating one meal, but hey, that's a lot better than no meals. So sometimes I just eat a lunch or a dinner, which isn't great, and I'm trying to make sure I eat 2 meals a day at least. Sometimes 3, but I'm at least eating a meal a day is my goal, and I've been eating a meal a day for for a month now. I'm trying to get longer and longer at that. So I have been eating at least 1 meal a day for a month now. I'll be honest, I haven't eaten more than 1 meal every day for a while. Not every day this week eating if I eat more than 1 meal a day, but I'm at least eating a meal a day, which, hey, progress. That's progress. You have to acknowledge your victories, and that is one of mine. And so it is nice to have that done and have that picture. Actually, that my audio isn't great, and this one's not one where I'm really carrying that heavily, but there's path. I'm trying to get better and better, making sure my audio is good and like my sound's good, my video is good, but sometimes for stuff like this, I'm not as used, because this one isn't for anyone else but myself. And recording it is forcing me to actually talk about it, which is something. And I'm just honestly looking for, 6 more minutes of content, because I've talked every extra one up to it. It's a half an hour me eating. I guess I could cut it short, but hey. Yeah, I could actually just cut it short thinking about it now. Or rather than just do this little thing of doing, I could cut it short and then not plan for it yet. Anyone else is on a pizza with like cardboard in this video? Like, it looked different. It doesn't look that weird in person. It tasted great in person, but in this video, it's just looking like cardboard. And like, what's really exciting me as well is I'm watching this video and I'm like, that's making me hungry, and that's pretty good. But yeah, food, what a weird thing. For me, in my life, food has kind of always been, not always, but I'm now liking to think about it, since I've just watched the movie, as like Cloud Meatballs, where food, I see it more as an enemy than like something you're meant to have and something that helps you. for what I was seeing it was like this issue, and it's like, oh yeah. Another point of the movie is like them over. I was like, oh yeah, they're overeating and they're over reliance on this like technology, and I was like, they're getting worse and worse. They're getting less self-sufficient because they have everything handed to them. But in my mind, it's more of like, oh yeah, when the food like in the sequel turns evil and they're trying to take this food down and destroy the machine, making the food in my brain. It's like, oh yeah, food is bad. Like for a while, I didn't see the movie that way. But yeah, in my mind, it's like, oh yeah, food was evil and food was the villain of my life, and food was something I tried to avoid. But now I'm getting back into eating again. I'm gonna try new foods again, and yeah, just explore food again. You know what I haven't done in this video yet that I've been doing for a while, running, bursting into song. No, but yep. So now this is the food kind of things done for a minute. A little few bits left, and honestly, I don't think I should delete any of this video because this is for no one. This is my dumbest YouTube channel. It's one I think it's called Just Made Dumber Stuff, and it's stuff that I don't think is worth posting around. So most of my content is kind of dumb, so I call it the dumber stuff. This is the dumbest of the dumb, so it's not just for me, but I don't think I should delete any of this because mostly it's because of me eating, not to culture on itself. In fact, let's let it be quiet 10 seconds. Just silently, I'm gonna make myself right now look at my phone and watch myself eat. I'll admit I picked a bad time to do that for us. I'm not eating at this moment. I'm just, dipping something. I honestly picked a really bad time to do like a quiet thing. I'm waiting for myself to eat and quietly look at myself eating, but I'm not eating at this point. I'm not sure what I'm actually doing. Maybe this is like near the end of the video where I'm like finishing up, kind of like getting less hungry. Because I'm really not eating here, and it's been like half a minute here. Oh, I'm getting food now. Oh yeah. So this is the point. This is like the last few minutes of me eating here, which is where I'm not as hungry. I'm like, I'm still a little hungry, but I'm not as hungry, so I'm slowing down because I'm like less hungry. But yeah, so something I've also, this is just a tip for anyone who doesn't eat food is, if you're not really eating, they always tell you if you're eating too much food, you should slow down, let your body can feel full. But for me, when I don't really eat much, my body gets full really quickly, so something I've been doing, I haven't been able to normalize my body yet, but for now I'm eating fast, so my body doesn't realize it's full yet and doesn't feel full yet, so that's why I'm trying to eat. That's why when I took a minute there to stop to drink, to kind of relax a minute, I've kind of slowed down my eating a lot more. My body's like, you're basically full, and I'm like, I'm not that full actually, and that's why I keep eating more. But yeah, so something that I've weirdly been enjoying, and what I'm looking into more since I've started eating, which is weird, is eating contests like the Try Guys ones. Been really enjoying those, which are really fun, and I'm like, I really want to try something like that. Be fun to do like an eating contest, but cooking contest, I don't cook that much. I think I'm like the right level of bad for a cooking contest because I don't care about food, which hey ho, easy go, a little too high, a little too low. Low self-esteem and vertigo, you made a candidate. I don't know why I'm seeing Molly Mirrors right now. But yeah, so I'm just finishing up the food here, I think. I'm nearly done. Man, if you hate watching people eat, don't watch this video. I should have said at the start, but yeah, I feel it's very obvious if you don't like watching people eat. Hey ho, I'm in the same boat. But yeah, don't like food. But yeah, that's become quite clear actually. But yeah, just be eating for half an hour here. If you don't like food, how have you got this far in? Please stop watching. I beg of you. So we're in the closing 40 seconds, so thank you to anyone who's watched this. Don't know how you found it or why you watched it on, but hey, you shoot me a text, tell me that you watched it. I will respond with, I will make any video idea within reason of money that you want me to. I guess is one option you can have. I'll send you a really nice message, which I do anyway a lot, so that's not really as much of a reward. Free is I will, I don't know, plan us a day out. If I know you, if not, The other two are still available, of course.